Good morning students. Welcome to online learning class. In previous class we started new lesson means of communication. It means the ways by which information or news can be sent. Communication is very important in man's life. If there were no means of communication, each person would have to learn everything by himself. Now today we learn number of ways by which communication can take place. Let's start. In the present day world, communication has become very fast and easy. The most commonly used means of communications are postal communication as through postcards and inland letters, mailing envelopes. Second, telecommunication as through radio, telephone, television and computer. Third, mass communication as through newspapers, television and radio. Tele is a Greek word which means far off. Telecommunication means long distance communication by telephone, radio, etc. Most of today's long distance communication is electronic. This type of communication is very fast because the sound and picture signals travel as electric currents or as radio waves. Mass communication means communicating with large number of people at the same time. We can do it through newspapers, radio and television. Let's now learn about some of the means of communication and how they are used. Postal communication. We can send our letters and messages through post. To write a letter or message, we can use a postcard or an inland letter. We can also write our message on a piece of paper and put it into an envelope. Then we put down the address at which we want our letter to reach. The letter is then dropped into a letter box. A postman collects these letters and takes them to the post office. The letters are then sorted and sent to their different destinations. They can be sent by road, rail, air, or sea. Some letters reach their destinations on the same day. Others can take a day or two. It can take some more time if the destination is far away. Urgent letters can be sent by courier or through speed post. For an early and proper delivery of our letters, note that the address should be complete. It should be written very clearly. The PIN code number should also be given. Do you know? Telegram was the earliest form of modern telecommunications. It was used to send messages over wires by the use of electrical pulses. These days, email, SMS, social networking sites, internet, etc. have come into vogue. Thus, Telegram has become obsolete after 164 years of service. It has been replaced by quicker and smarter devices like smartphones. See children. Postal communication. Postal communication means communication through postcard, inland letters. Post office are found in every city, town and village. A post office is a very important place. It charges a nominal amount for carrying our letters and parcels from one place to the other. It helps us keep in touch with our friends and relatives who stay in far off. We can send registered letter, birthday greeting, parcels and money orders through the post office. The postman collects this letter and send them to their destination. The postman work day in and day out. We must respect and appreciate their hard work. Although there are many new methods of communication nowadays, the post office is still very important. Nothing can compare to the joy we feel upon receiving a postcard from a friend. Inland letter card for transmission by the inland post are issued by the post office for the use of the public. A letter card means a sheet of paper of the kind ordinary used for letter writing, suitably folded and gummed. A letter card has a stamp of the prescribed value of postage impressed on it. Now, we learn about telephone. A telephone is the fastest means of communication. We can talk to any person in any part of the world over a telephone. We have simply to dial the other person's telephone number. As soon as the bell rings and the other person lifts the receiver, the talk begins. The telephone has now become the most common means of communication. Besides calling, we can send SMS, greetings, click same and same photos, hear music, play games, watch videos, surfing internet, etc. with a smartphone. There are many apps which make many things possible like torch, sharing photos, email, read ebooks and socialize with others. Telephone communication is one of the most important form of communication within the company. Although today its use is being replaced by other form of communication such as email. Phone use is one of the most common means by which to materialize both internal and external communication. Advantage of this type of communication is that as we do other things as we speak, such as taking notes, search for something on the computer, ask something to a workmate, and so on. The telephone has now become the most common means of communication. There are many apps which make many things possible like torch, sharing photos, and socialize with others. Now see mass communication. For sending information to single persons, we can make use of letters, telephones, mobile phones and smartphone. But for informing large numbers of people, we use different means of communication. We use books, magazines, newspaper, radio and television. They are called means of mass communication. See children, mass communication is the process of imparting and exchanging information through mass media to large segments of the population. It is usually understood for relating to various forms of media, as these technologies are used for the dissemination of information, of which journalism and advertising are part. Mass communication is practiced multiple mediums such as radio, television, social networking, billboards, newspapers, magazine, film and the internet. Newspapers bring us information about the previous day's happenings. Radio and television can give us instant information. Even uneducated person can understand messages delivered over the radio or television. The television has another advantage. It not only gives information but shows the pictures also. See, a newspaper is a form of printed media. It is a powerful mode of mass communication. Technically, a newspaper is a periodical publication which is usually issued on daily or weekly basis. It contains news, articles of opinion, features, advertisement and other information of public interest. The means of mass communication provide us information as well as entertainment. Computers too are playing an important part in communication. We can send our mail through the internet. Large amounts of information can be stored in a computer. This information can be used later when it is needed. Now, computers use the internet and provide mass communication or the exchange of information on a large scale. Today, this means of communication across the entire world at the speed of light. Now see points to remember. The different ways of sending information are called means of communication. For information to individuals, we can make use of letters and telephones. For sending information to far off places, we can make use of telecommunications like telephone, radio, TV and computer. Newspapers, radio and TV are the means of mass communication. The telephone is the most used means of communications these days. The television is the most useful means of mass communication. It not only brings instant information but also show live pictures of the event. It is also a big source of entertainment. That's all for today. Thank you, students.